Hey, how you guys doing? I recollect. So, how to get your tanks back for the same price you sold them for, premium or any tank you've owned. There's no time limit. I'm gonna go over all of that at the end of this video, but first let's see if it actually works because although I found a article on exceptions, I actually wanted to get some tanks back to make sure. And so I submitted a ticket here, ticket 895163. And it basically here I requested at the very top of this, you guys can see that I requested I want to use one of my exceptions to get back my VK4503. I just got the email back, the confirmation, and so I followed all the steps, which I will show you guys. And of course, this was the first I got back. So once I submitted my ticket here, I got this back, which told me that, you know, what tanks, how much credits I was going to need, and how many garage slots I would have to have available. I said I confirmed that, and they basically said, "Greetings, Commander IVICLE XX. Thanks for getting back to us. With your permission, we move ahead and restore your tanks." And you can see, per your request, we have, was it reversal of the VK4503 German and the M4 improved USA and the Tiger II German tank for 3,100,990 and 440 credits you received when your initial sold the tank. I'll explain more about how that works, but let's go ahead and sign into the PC and see if we got our tanks. Alright, so let's see if we got our tanks back. So this is the M4 Improved, which I hated this tank and I sold it because of it. But I also didn't really realize that there's some good things about this tank if you manage the gun. The gun's a tier 4 and that's probably the worst thing about it. But it is basically really good in its own tier. Of course, let's see what else we got. We got the VK4503. I did a review on this and sold it almost immediately after. I thought this was the worst tank I ever played, and I thought it was just horrible because it didn't have the Tiger's DPM. And the armor's not as effective, but I'm going to go ahead and say that it's perfectly fine. It's still a premium tank, that's good, and of course I got my Tiger back. Now, of course, I should have everything for these tanks except for crews. One of the weird things is it gives you 50% crew, which means I'm going to have to basically, get rid of all these guys. But it's nice to see that they're back in the garage. And of course, if you look here, let me go ahead and see. Go ahead and go to research. You can see that I still am going to have to pay for the guns, unfortunately. Which does kind of suck, but I'll do that another time. As you can see, I'm down to 2,900,000. I had 600,000, so I'm probably going to be having to play some of my other tanks, But it is nice to have a premium tank back that I could train with. I could train my Tiger crew in it. It's not really that much of a difference if you look. Pretty cool, yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about exceptions and how they work and how you can actually submit your own ticket and get any tank including premium tanks like you just seen, back in your garage. So let's go ahead and go back to the article. Alright, so now let's show you guys how you can actually do the ticket. I did want to kind of show you guys what you would have to be able to do to get, to submit the ticket, like requirements, what it is and the rules. I've heard this rumor, you can do it but only a year back. That's actually completely not true. The proof of it is right here, and I'm just going to read this to you so you guys can see it. And that is, it says here on, we cannot roll back any of the following actions. It says here on line 3, actions prior to January 1st, 2016, except the vehicle restorations as noted below. So basically, there is no time limit. If you've ever owned the tank, you can get it. Now, some of the requirements that you need to actually get the tank back would be, 1, you need to have owned it and to have played one game with it. It says players can restore any vehicle, including premium tanks, the player previously owned, as long as they meet the following criteria. They must be recorded demonstration of ownership of the vehicle. That doesn't mean I need a receipt. What it means is I need to have owned it before. I need to have owned the vehicle, and I need to have played at least one battle. So if you don't meet that criteria, you cannot get that tank back, premium or not. You must have a free garage slot for the vehicle to be restored. You must allow us to remove the credit received when selling the vehicle. If you guys don't know what that means, if you basically bought the tank for 2,500,000 and then you sold it for half that, you're going to need that half to basically get it. For instance, I had 6 million credits when I actually did this, and if you guys seen in the very beginning of the video, I was down to 2,900,000, and that's because it cost me 3,000 or 3 million something to get all 3 tanks back at once. But that's a hell of a lot cheaper than actually repurchasing the VK or the Tiger. You know, I got them for the exact price I sold them for. That's pretty much it. I did want to tell you though that NA support can use one exception to restore multiple vehicles. Players cannot combine multiple requests using one exception. And they're not talking about vehicles. They're talking about vehicles are the exception. But if you wanted to do gold and tanks, you can't do it. It has to be, I want to get my tanks back here, and then I fired, you know, 1,000 gold worth of rounds on this one. If you did do that, you would need to have the silver to replace all those rounds you fired. But most likely if you submitted a ticket, you could actually get them back. But you would need the silver. That's pretty much it. Some other things I can think of that you might want to know is well, here it says, here are some examples of what you can roll back. So exceptions can be used for more than just bringing tanks back. You can also fix accidental gold to credit conversions. Accidental ammunition purchases using gold. Reversing accidental garage slot purchasing. Accidental purchase of premium time. It does emphasize here, though, that, you know, must have not been played in any battles. So if you bought a month's premium time and, you know, you basically cannot play a battle if you want to get that gold back. So if you go and buy it and then you realize, wait a minute, that's accidental, you would need to basically stop playing World of Tanks, don't play any battles, and submit a ticket immediately. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with that 30 days of premium time. So that's pretty much it. Now it's all about how do you do the ticket, which all you need to really do is just basically be able to spell exception and search it in their bar. But I'm going to show you how I did it, which is I basically just went to worldoftanks.net. I went to the home page, and up here you can see support. Go to support, come over here, we go to my tickets. Doesn't matter if you've ever had a ticket, it's available. You do need to sign into your account. So sign into your account and then go ahead and submit a ticket. Now the ticket you want to submit is to Woot, right? Obviously, I'm pretty sure you could use these tickets for other games, and it's going to be under in-game goods, all right? Now what I like to put here is basically, it's going to be the title. So it says enter the issue title. So I want to use my one of my exceptions to get back some tanks, which is a perfect title, I think. All right. None of this matters. We just want to go. It doesn't solve our problem because we want to. It's a different issue. This isn't a technical problem. It's a normal one. So now under this message, we need to describe the best we can what vehicles we want back. And I like to do it like this to make sure there's no mistakes. Say I wanted to get back the M4 Sherman and the M4 Sherman Improved. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So M4 Sherman, and I'm going to go ahead and do tier 5, and then of course the country USA, and they like it in those brackets. I'm going to go ahead and do you know, USA. So this is actually a medium tank as well. You don't need to do that though, just as long as they know it's the M4 Sherman tier 5 US tank, right? So you can actually do tank if you want, and then I'm going to go ahead and do comma because I'm going to do another one. M4 improved. M4 improved. Same thing. Tier 5, but I'm going to do premium this time. Premium tank, and I'm going to go ahead and do USA. Right, country of origin. So if it's Germany, put Germany. If it's France, put France. and that would be pretty much it. So if these are the two tanks and I have two slots and I have the amount of money, which they will send you back an email within, it could be a day. I will say that this only took me, I submitted the ticket on a Friday night, and it's actually 4:43 p.m. for me on November 12th. On the 11th is when I sent it in, so it took 24 hours. So they did this on a Friday, on Veterans Day, so I've heard people say it took up to 48 hours for them to get it. So the next thing you want to do is basically, it says enter exception policy. Describe description of requested items for reversal, vehicles, gold, credit, etc. It's vehicles, right? So next thing we want to do is answer yes, and of course we want to basically do the checklist. I have the following items needed for reversal, which is credit and slots. And there you go. Country that we're, or language we speak, and continue. And so now it gives you one final check, and all I got to do is submit this ticket, and it will basically give us a ticket. Now I don't want to do that because I already have submitted a ticket, so I'm going to go ahead and just go to my most recent ticket and show you guys the process one more time, which is you're going to receive this basically saying everything that you're going to need. It's going to tell you what tanks, so make sure they're all correct and the ones you want. You're also going to need to make sure you have enough slots for each vehicle and that you have the allotted credits, right? Then you're going to basically say I confirm. You don't have to put the money, but you could just put I confirm or just confirmation. I actually kind of misspelled this. As you can see, they pretty much knew what I meant when I was actually trying to put I confirm that I wish to swap the 3,199,440 credits, for that. And of course, they sent me back, and you can see the times here. I submitted this on November 12th, 2016 at 9:13 a.m. and it was replied back at 3:27 p.m. So we're not talking about really that long, 8 hours to get back these tanks on a Saturday. So, and of course you could read all this if you'd like to. Anyway, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If I missed something or guys want to add something to it, feel free to put it in the comments and let me know what you guys think. And of course, comment, like, and subscribe, and have a good one. Later.